Bomba de Calvillo is a project deeply rooted in the cultural identity of Aguascalientes. The beverage we're commercializing, originally known simply as La Bomba, was created over 30 years ago by Jesus Don Chuy Muñoz, a bartender from Calvillo, who unintentionally developed a unique blend of spirits, citrus with sweet notes. Over the time, the beverage became a symbol of local celebrations, especially during the time of Feria Nacional de San Marcos. Now it's a symbol of community, joy, and sense of belonging.
Our team has developed a comprehensive business plan grounded in data driven industry analysis, financial modeling, operational streamlining, and regulatory compliance across Mexico and the United States.
Today, each of us will present the component we individually authored. Together, these pieces integrate into a coherent strategy for market entry, profitability, and long-term brand development. The ready-to-drink category has experienced unprecedented momentum. According to Discus and IWSR reports, RTDs represent the fastest-growing segment of the U.S. spirits market, expanding at double-digit annual rates. This places the industry firmly in the growth stage of its life cycle, which is characterized by innovation, high consumer adoption, and continuous market entry. Now, to understand the industry structure of this industry, we use the BCG matrix 2. The RTD cocktail category is currently in the specialization quadrant. This quadrant is defined by 1. Many opportunities for differentiation, and 2. Big potential competitive advantage. This matches our product perfectly. Our cultural heritage, our story, and our distinctive bomb-shaped bottle gives us a unique identity that competitors cannot easily duplicate. Some advantages of the specialization quadrant is 1. Strong brand loyalty potential, 2. Ability to charge premium pricing, 3. High emotional connection with consumers, and 4. Defensible competitive advantage through trademarks and trade dress. Some of our disadvantages are 1. Require strong marketing investment to educate consumers, 2. High expectations for consistency and product quality, 3. Copycat risk requires strong IP protections, and 4. Growth may be slower because we rely on niche communities before scaling. Now on to the impact on our actions. We must heavily reinforce cultural storytelling and authenticity. We have brand identity packaging must stay consistent. Early investment in IP protection, especially trade dress and bottle design, is essential, and our launch strategy must focus on targeted markets first, like national nightlife, before expanding nationwide. Operating in the specialization quadrant means we win by staying unique, premium, and culturally authentic. Based on our industry research, we identified several key success factors that determine whether a new RTD product can succeed. First is authentic branding and storytelling. Customers connect more deeply with products that have real cultural roots. Our origin in Calvillo and the story of Don Choi give us an authentic narrative edge. We'll highlight this origin story on packaging and marketing materials and in partnerships with local bars to create emotional connection. Second is packaging and visual appeal. In the RTD market, visibility is everything. Shelf appeal directly impacts sales. Bomba's bomb-shaped bottle, red liquid, and unique cap provide immediate recognition. We plan to maintain the distinctive design while meeting U.S. safety standards and labeling laws. Third is distribution and partnerships. Getting into the right venues is crucial. Bars on Broadway, tourist shops, honky-tonks, and festivals. We planned to partner with experienced Tennessee distributors who already understand the local alcohol landscape. Lastly, regulatory compliance is a key factor. Alcohol is heavily regulated. We plan to work with legal specialists to streamline TTB and FDA approvals, ensuring our labeling, packaging, and import process meets all federal and state requirements. These success factors guide every step of our operational plan. Now, let's examine the RTD industry using Porter's 5 forces and explain how this analysis shapes our strategy. 1. Threat of new entrants. RTDs are relatively easy to launch. So many brands enter quickly, increasing competition. We must build brand recognition early and secure trademarks in Mexico and in the U.S. to prevent imitators. 2. Supply your power. Most alcohol ingredients are easy to source, but our custom bottle shape creates some supplier dependency. We plan to work with multiple bottle suppliers and sign long-term contracts to prevent shortages or design imitations. 3. Buyer power. Bars and retailers have many drink options and consumer loyalty is often low. We differentiate with cultural storytelling, strong visuals, and a unique flavor to mix to reduce price sensitivity and build a loyal niche audience. 4. Threat of substitutes. Competitors include seltzers, mixed drinks, canned cocktails, and shots served in bars. We emphasize the cultural and experiential elements of the drink. Bomba isn't just a beverage, it's a piece of Mexican tradition packaged for celebration. 5. Rivalry among existing competitors. Major brands like High Noon and Cutwater dominate advertising and shelf placement. Our entry strategy focuses on niche penetration instead of mass retail, starting with national nightlife, cultural events, and tourist-driven locations, then scaling outwards. Overall, the 5 forces show a competitive environment, but with strategic positioning and strong brand identity, Bomba can carve out a defensible and profitable market space. Next, looking at the national market, specifically, we examined who our customers are and what drives demand. Tourist-heavy areas like Broadway thrive on novelty and visuality. Striking drinks, which positions Bomba extremely well. The product's bright red color, bomb-shaped bottle, and cultural backstory all help it stand out in crowded environments. Key demand drivers in Nashville include convenience, bold flavors, drinks that photograph well for social media, and the overall experience of nightlife culture. Bomba fits these perfectly. Pricing at $5 to $13 keeps us competitive with premium RTDs and mixed drinks served in bars. What also helps is the growing popularity of Latin-inspired beverages, especially tequila-based drinks. This culture trend aligns directly with Bomba's identity and gives us a strong niche advantage. Overall, the market conditions show strong potential for brand visibility, high volume, sales, and product adoption, both in bars and retail locations. This strategic route map helps us see how Bomba compares to existing drink options in Nashville. We position products based on 2 factors, uniqueness and price. Traditional beers and seltzers stay in the low uniqueness category, while premium canned cocktails move slightly higher. But Bomba stands apart. Our product occupies one of the highest uniqueness positions because of its cultural story, artisanal roots from Calvillo, and its distinct bomb-shaped bottle that immediately catches attention. This positioning means our strategy must lean into brand storytelling, striking visuals, and cultural authenticity. We're competing by being different, not by matching competitors. Now on to our design and development strategy. It focuses on both the product itself and the intellectual property that protects it. The recipe is stable and easy to scale, and manufacturing in Mexico keeps costs low while maintaining authenticity. However, protecting the brand legally is a major priority. First, trademarks for Bomba de Calvillo will be filed in Mexico and the United States. We also need to address possible conflicts. For example, La Bomba is a name used in the perfume industry. While it's a different trademark class, similar names can still complicate brand recognition. So our action plan is to emphasize the distinct name Bomba de Calvillo. Our bottle qualifies for trade dress, protection, and potentially a design patent because of its iconic bomb shape and fused style cap. Copyright protection will cover our label artwork, website visuals, and marketing materials. On the regulatory side, we must secure TDB approval, follow FDA labeling rules, and meet all import requirements. Finally, our recipe and production process will be protected as trade secrets using NDAs and restricted access. Altogether, these protections help preserve our competitive edge. Now, for our overall schedule. Our rollout schedule includes several important milestones leading to a full Nashville launch. First, we have to finalize recipe standardization and complete flavor and stability testing. Next, we finalize bottle design and packaging durability tests during this time. We begin IP fillings and regulatory applications in both Mexico and in the US. Once approvals are underway, we move into pilot production and negotiate distribution partnerships. These distributors will guide placements into bars, honky-tonks, and tourist-centered retailers. Finally, our marketing campaign will activate through launch events. tastings, and social media promotion that highlights the cultural origin of the drink. This schedule ensures we launch smooth, legally, and with strong brand visibility. I think this might take maybe 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6. And in closing, Bomba de Calvillo is uniquely positioned for success in Nashville's dynamic market with strong cultural roots, standout packaging, and a clear competitive strategy supported by industry analysis, key success factors, and the 5 forces. The product is ready for launch. Our development plan, proprietary protections, and targeted distribution approach give us a strong foundation to enter the market with confidence and scale over time.
However, despite its popularity, La Bomba never evolved beyond local. Each establishment prepared with approximate shots measurement, with no sanitization control or standardized alcohol content. This meant that the beverage could not be legally commercialized, regulated, or exported. The core problem we see here is that this beverage, with such a meaningful cultural significance and with a really strong market potential, was stuck within an informal system that prevents a scale or international visibility. Our inspiration is to bridge that gap, preserving the essence of this regional tradition while transforming it into a standardized, exported, ready to drink cocktail. In many ways, this project is not only about introducing a new beverage to the market, it's about preserving and honoring my heritage and sharing a piece of Calvillo with a global audience. Our mission is to preserve and elevate the cultural heritage of Calvillo by producing an authentic and high quality ready to drink cocktail that combines traditional Mexican flavors with these modern industrial standards. We want to ensure that consumers in the United States and beyond can experience this festive spirit of Calvillo through a product that is safe, consistent, and undeniably distinctive. To translate the original handmade recipe into a commercially viable product, we standardize every ingredient into a precise milliliter measurement to develop a formula that delivers a consistent of 7.6% of alcohol by volume. Our beverage maintains the essence of the original cocktail, but is now produced under the industrial hygiene standards and meets the regulatory requirements for both United States and Mexico. We offer two product formats: a 6 milliliter bottle designed for individual consumption, festival and convenience retail, and 1 liter bottle targeted towards bars, events, and group settings. One of our defining characteristics is the packaging. We designed a distinctive spherical PET bottle inspired by the playful shape of a bomb. This format not only reinforces brand recognition, but also provides practical advantages: durability during transport, lightweight handling, and strong shelf visibility. Our international strategy heavily relies on the framework provided by the USMCA, known as TEMEC in Mexico, because our product meets the rules of origin criteria. Being manufactured and bottled entirely in Mexico, it enters the United States duty free. USMCA also modernizes custom procedures, promotes digital documentation, and facilitates cooperation across border agencies. This provision significantly streamlines the cross border movement of alcoholic beverages, which would otherwise face delays, compliance risk, or additional administrative burdens. For us, the trade agreement is not simply a regulatory requirement, it is a strategic advantage that enhances our competitiveness in the US ready to drink market. Our logistic model is designed around reliability and safety. Production occurs entirely in Calvillo, Aguascalientes, after which the finished pallets are transported by truck to Nuevo Laredo, Mexico's most active commercial border crossing. There, we complete export documentation and custom procedures. Once the shipment enters Laredo, Texas, it continues by truck to a Tennessee distribution center serving the Nashville metropolitan area. This route was selected because it is the same corridor used by major food and beverage exporters and offer high infrastructure quality, predictable transit times, and a strong custom processing capacity. Nashville was chosen strategically due to its tourist volume, nightlife culture, and openness to innovate ready to drink beverages. For our international shipment structure, we selected the Incoterm CIP, carriage and insurance paid to. Under the CIP, we as the seller are responsible for covering the cost of transportation and the insurance up to the final named destination, which in our case is Nashville. However, the transfer of risk occurs much earlier. especially at the moment we deliver the goods to the first carrier here in Mexico. The Incoterm is strategic for two main reasons. First, we increase the trust with US distributors because we assume the responsibility of freight and insurance. And second, it clearly allocates risk and obligations in a way that protects both parties. It shows professionalism and reduces uncertainty in the early stage of market entry. In our management team, I'm responsible for the international business development, logistic planning, and binational regulatory compliance. My role also includes defining the export route, managing custom procedures, our Incoterm structure, and ensure that all the labeling, packaging, and documentation meet the COFEPRIS and TTV regulations. Taylor leads the strategic and analytical components of the project, including the industrial analysis, competitive positioning, and intellectual property decisions, and the overall market strategy. Alicia oversees the financial and operational dimensions, such as the economic modeling, marketing strategy, CPOC, and BSM analysis, and the development of our financial projections.
Our executive summary introduces Bomba de Calvillo, a ready to drink cocktail inspired by the cultural tradition of Calvillo Aguascalientes in Mexico. It explains the origin of the drink created by Don Choi and how it became a symbol of celebration. We describe the product concept, a bold mix of spirits and citrus flavors packaged in a bomb-shaped bottle that stands out visually. The summary also highlights the two formats that we'll offer: 600 milliliters for retail and 1 liter for group settings, with bilingual labeling and compliance for U.S. export. Next, it outlines the market opportunity. The U.S. ready-to-drink segment is growing fast in Nashville's Broadway district, with its nightlife and tourist traffic. It's the ideal launch location. Bomba's cultural authenticity and unique design differentiate it from traditional whiskey and seltzers. We also touched on cost structure and feasibility, introducing raw material prices, packaging, labor, and equipment needs. The summary mentions our intellectual property strategy to protect the brand and ensure regulatory compliance. Finally, it also covers distribution plans, bars and honky tonks, retail outlets near major attractions, seasonal activations at music events, and reinforces Bomba's brand identity as a blend of tradition and innovation, offering not just a drink, but a cultural experience engineered for global appeal. We identified revenue drivers across retail, wholesale, and on-premise channels. Our cost of goods sold, or COGS, calculations reflect verified ingredient prices, export documentation, and freight costs. Retail margins for both formats exceed 59%, and break-even volume is between 250 and 480 bottles per month, which is remarkably low for an alcohol brand. This confirms early profitability and manageable financial risk. Next, our marketing plan positions Bomba de Cavillo as a premium, culturally authentic, ready-to-drink cocktail that brings the vibrant tradition of Aguas Calientes straight to Nashville's nightlife. Our differentiation lies in three key areas: a unique bomb-shaped bottle with bold branding, authentic heritage based on the original recipe from Calvillo, and convenience through a RTD format perfect for bars, festivals, and retail. Our target market includes two segments: primary for young adults aged 21 to 30 who frequent Nashville's nightlife, and secondary for tourists seeking a unique Instagram worthy experience. For the four P's, the product represents La Bomba bottled cocktail in a 300 milliliter or 1 liter format. The price, it will be retailed at $6.99 USD for 600 milliliters and $12.99 for 1 liter, with wholesale pricing between $8.50 to $9 for 1 liter again. to maintain margins. Promotional wise, we will launch events at honky tonks and music venues, influencer partnerships, and social media campaigns that target Latin culture and Nashville nightlife. For our distribution, we aim to distribute it along bars and honky tonks along Broadway, convenience stores near tourist zones, and seasonal activations at festivals and music events. Our sales process combines pre-sales agreements with distributors and bars to reduce inventory risk, direct outreach to honky tonks and retail chains, and a digital marketing funnel that moves customers from social ads to engagement, tastings, and finally a purchase. Finally, our sales tactics include sampling events at bars and festivals, limited edition packaging for seasonal activations, cross promotions with Latin music festivals, and a strong online engagement through Instagram Reels and TikTok challenges featuring La Bomba. In short, our marketing strategy focuses on culturally driven differentiation, visibility in Nashville's nightlife ecosystem, and a multi-channel promotional system, including social media, experiential activations, and retailer incentives. Target segments include young adults, tourists, distributors who are navigating this three-tier system. Next, our SIPOC diagram clarifies the flow of suppliers, inputs, processes, outputs, and customers. It also explains how Bomba de Calvillo moves from production in Aguas Calientes to Nashville's nightlife. We use the SIPOC diagram to map suppliers like liquor distributors, packaging customers, inputs such as spirits and bomb-shaped bottles, and processes including blending, QC, bottling, and shipping. Outputs are consistent, ready-to-drink Bomba bottles that will be delivered to bars, retail, and event venues for customers who value authenticity and convenience. We also captured VOC, voice of the customer, expectations, flavor consistency at least 95% at the time, delivery within 2 weeks, and affordable serving costs under $3. These metrics guide our quality, speed, and cost goals. Our VSM map revealed the biggest challenge, the 23-day lead time driven by transport delays and manual approvals. The future VSM diagram sets a goal of 7 to 8 days, including customs. To achieve this, we'll reduce transport delays by partnering with fast logistics providers and negotiating service level agreements. We'll also streamline approvals through automated documents, improve inventory and QC with batch preparation and digital tracking, and enhance customs efficiency with pre-clearance and experienced brokers. Finally, we'll reduce errors by standardizing processes and training staff. These improvements will cut lead time by over 60%, reduce our error rates, and align operations with our marketing promise of convenience and authenticity. Next, our sources and uses table covers machinery, initial inventory, regulatory costs, and logistics. The assumption sheet reflects realistic pricing, operational pacing, and freight conditions. Together, these projections demonstrate that Bomba de Calvillo is financially viable under conservative scenarios. So, to expand on that a bit more, we start with our sources and uses of funds. On the sources side, we anticipate $15,000 in owner's equity, $10,000 from distributor pre-sales agreements, and a potential small business loan of $15,000, bringing total sources to $40,000. For uses of funds, the largest allocation is equipment purchase, estimated between $22,000 to $33,000. Initial raw material inventory will require $3,000 to $4,000, package inventory $1,800 to $2,400, and licensing and permits between $1,200 to $1,800. We also budgeted $5,000 for marketing and launch events, bringing total uses to $33,000 to $42,000. Our assumption sheet reflects realistic pricing and operational pacing. Retail prices are set at $6.99 for 600 milliliters, $12.99 for 1 liter, with wholesale pricing between $8.50 to $9 for 1 liter. Our updated COGS are $2.80 for 600 milliliters and $4.86 for 1 liter. Our fixed costs are projected at $30,000 annually. Our break-even analysis shows that at retail, 1 liter bottles require approximately 3,690 units to cover our fixed costs, while wholesale requires about 14,085 units. For our 600 milliliter retail, the break-even point is roughly 7,160 bottles. Our target gross margin remains above 40%, and our operational goal is to maintain a delivery lead time of 7 to 8 days. Together, these projections confirm that Bomba can achieve profitability with a focused retail strategy, cost control, and strong distributor partnerships.
This is my personal reflection and what I learned from this cool project. First of all, I learned how to work with stress. I learned how to manage my time according to others' time. Um, I learned how to get along with people from other cultures, other countries, with this language barrier that we have, and of course with these different ways of work, this different type of education that we have. I learned a lot from Duncan. Thank you. And I learned a lot from my teacher. Thank you very much. I also learned from my partners how to understand and get knowledge, or like, yes, acknowledge my strength and others' strength in order to get a good project.